Hello, I'm Rich. I'm the guy that does the Bunch of Amateurs stuff. Usually we do these updates for the members, and we do them most weeks, but every now and then we have to do one for public consumption. I try and do them as written updates, but they don't reach many people, so we thought we'd try another public video. I'm not overly happy about this. I'd much rather not have my face in front of the camera. That's why I do the voiceover stuff instead. But anyway, a few things I want to tell you guys about to just go through, really. I'll start off with the nature of the videos on the channel, because we get a lot of comments about this, and some positive, some negative, and sometimes it's better just to front up and explain how things work here. So not to go too far back, but for a couple of years now, we've just been putting out documentaries, as it were. We've been putting out 30, 40-minute episodes, and they started creeping up to an hour. And we weren't growing very fast, and it wasn't a sustainable operation. So at the beginning of this season, we decided to do things a bit differently. We needed to get more people onto memberships in order to support the channel, and we needed to adjust the edits so that they matched YouTube's algorithm. We had a meeting with I think he was a former head of sports for YouTube US, and he went through the channel with me on a video call and took it apart and basically said, if you keep going like this, you're done. So that's why we started doing shorter episodes. But then I realised the episodes weren't making as much sense because you didn't have the setups from earlier in the day. We had to really carve out like the bare bones, as it were, of each episode, and I wasn't satisfied. The numbers were going up, but I don't think the episodes were being as successful. So that's when we started doing the pre-match episodes, the build-up episodes, and they're doing okay. The numbers have been fine. The growth has actually been really, really good this year. We're really happy with it. But I'm still not overly satisfied with the way that we're doing things. So we are experimenting. We will keep experimenting until we find a system that works. Personally, I would love to have just free videos and for them to be as long as I liked, whether it's an hour, hour and a half or whatever, and everyone watch them and we make enough money that I can support my family. But that's only working because of the current setup. And the channel is doing well, and we are making enough to continue, but we are relying quite heavily on our members. Now, the memberships people are getting a 90-minute episode this week for Chesterfield. That's the $6.99 tier, I think, and the $2.99 people are getting an hour-long one. Haven't figured out what to do with the free version yet. We'll probably put it out as quite a long one. It might even be an hour long, and we're just going to see how it does stats-wise. We're going to see what the effect is on when it comes to the analytics. There'll be a cut here because I'm going to bring up some analytics. Okay, so just for those who are interested, this is a random episode from season 2, and you can see there's a big drop off at the start, and then when we get to the team talks, it really drops, and by the end there's only 28% of people watching. And then if you look at one from a couple of weeks ago, it doesn't drop off, and we did go back for a team talk in this one very quickly, so you see a slow but firm drop off there, and then this is a couple of weeks before, and that drop off is right at the end. That's just when I'm saying thanks for watching. So that kind of stuff makes a huge difference to the YouTube algorithm, and we have to play that game in order for our videos to be seen by enough people. So that's why we are experimenting. Now, the reason I mention all of this and publicly is because we want to find out over the next few weeks towards the end of the season how things are going now that we've got a much bigger audience than we had in season 2. So we're going to release some episodes. They're going to be longer. Some of them are going to be short still, and we're going to check out those stats. That's going to help inform us for what we do next season. As ever, my preference is always to put out as much as possible and for everyone to be interested in it. But if they're not, if 65% of people are dropping off before the final team talk, we can't include that team talk. So we'll see, and we'll keep you posted on here on the community page as to how it's all going. And the other big question that we get asked a lot is why we are not current, why we don't go out the same time as the games are on. Now, there's a bunch of reasons for this. I usually cut and paste the answer when people comment on it. The main reason is practical, because we need to be behind so that we have time to make the episodes. Another reason is we want to keep the players comfortable and happy, and if we're a bit too current, that might be an issue for them. There's a lot of pros and cons with this. Also, if we were going out within a week, and let's say we couldn't film a match because there's someone like Dagenham and Redbridge, they won't let us film, then we wouldn't have an episode that week. And also storytelling, we need to know what's going to happen in the future. So at the moment, we know what happens to Dorking, and I've got 5 or 6 episodes left, so I can start setting up that ending with some of the things that Mark says in interviews and that kind of thing. The same applies to Rains Park Vale as well. So my personal preference is to go out as late as possible. It helps me make the show a lot easier and helps Jack, who works with me on this. But we also know that it's better for the audience if we're closer to real life. And if the pros were in our favour, we would do that. And we are looking at how we can do that. Over the next few weeks, again, we are talking long and hard about the future of the show and how we make it work. And if we can get closer to real life, that's great. We will do that. But it remains to be seen. So we're going to thrash out all of those pros and cons and see if we can tick off some of those cons and make it happen. So that's that. In terms of what's coming up, so we've got about half a dozen episodes of Dorking Uncovered to go before the end of the season. I think there's 11 or 12 matches left from where we are right now. We weren't allowed to film 2 or 3 of them. So we'll be compressing a couple of them into single episodes. So it'll be 4, 5, 6 episodes, something like that. I don't know how many Rains Park we've got left. I'm editing one right now, and this is like 13 or 14 games to the end of the season. We didn't film all of them, so we're going to try and coincide the end of the season together as much as possible. Then we'll do some specials. We shot a Barks and Mark super team charity match yesterday. It was them versus Ian Holloway and his team, and George Plank on his team at Sellers Park. So that's one of our specials. We've got a few lost episodes we could use. We've got a Barks story to tell from when he was at Loxwood at the start of the season. So there's a bunch of things that will take us through the summer. Those things will all be on memberships and Patreon first, so look out for them. And then next season, nothing's set in stone yet. We're in talks with both the clubs that we currently film. We expect to be continuing unless anything drastic happens. I can't really see that changing, but we'll confirm once that's all agreed. To be fair, we have already started shooting Dorking Season 5, but yeah, need to sit down with Mark and just thrash out the details and make sure it works for everybody. So there you go. That's my update. Thought I'd keep it brief. Don't really like having to do this. I'm going to go and hide my face again and go back to just being a voiceover guy. So thanks for watching. Thanks everybody for your support. I really appreciate it. Please leave a comment below. That's what YouTubers say, right? Leave a comment below, hit the like button, all of that shit. So yeah, thank you very much.